Hey guys, this is the Jurassic Block guy here, and today we are going to be reviewing the re-released version of the Amber Collection Velociraptor. So, let's get into it. Of course, the raptor is the main part of this. You can see it's very well detailed and sculpted. I like how they added these bumps on the back of the head and on this part of the head, and a bit of it down to the neck as well. And if you have the original figure, you'll know that it has more of a darker color scheme to it, which this figure here actually has more like a greenish color to it. It is actually more green instead of brown like seen in the original Jurassic Park, which is something I like about this figure. And I think that the detail on the body is fine, and on the tail as well, it's okay as well. And one thing that they didn't forgot to do is the eye is a more emerald green when it should have been a more lime color like seen in the movie, which I don't bother it personally. I just think it's a nitpick that everyone should notice. And overall, if you look at the inner side, it's like a bland color to it, but that is actually a thing about these Amber Collection Velociraptors, because as you all know, the Amber Collection line had released lots of Velociraptor repaints, because the Velociraptor is more of a popular dinosaur, but the representation on trained Velociraptors in Jurassic World kind of ruined it, the representation. But overall, they're still pretty scary nonetheless. I like how Mattel actually gave these figures painted claws on them instead of just having them blend in with the color. But I will say that the tiny little dew claw on it is still not painted, which is my biggest gripe about this figure. And as you all know, in the main Mattel line, Mattel usually don't repaint paint their dew claws. Seriously, you can paint these claws on the hands and the claws on the feet, as well as the raptor sickle claw, but not a dew claw. Seriously, what the heck? And also, when you open the mouth, you can see that there is a red splashes in it, it killed something, or at least ate something, which I find this to be unique, especially for a raptor figure. But that's probably my biggest my favorite thing about the figure is the splashes of red in its mouth. And also a thing to note here is that the tail is bendy wire. If you compare it to a Hammond Collection figure, the rubber is more soft, but as compared to the previous Amber collections, it's just like a little more softer. Like, I mean, every time, like when I bend the tail, I always feel like I was gonna break it. But it's still intact. Yeah, I still like it nonetheless though. Stupid camera quality doesn't work. So I'll just have it at like this range from now on. For articulation though, the head, like the upper and lower jaws can move. The head can also move as well. The neck can also move. As for the arms, they can swivel as well as pivot outward. At the shoulders, the elbow can do that, and as well as the wrist. And the thigh, it can swivel outward. At the calf, it can bend and also swivel. And at the knee, it can also bend and swivel as well. But also a big complaint that I have about the figure is that you can only rotate the feet. I was expecting it where you can move the feet up and down as well, but no, they just gave it feet articulation, which is impossible. And like I said, the tail is made out of bendy wire, which of course it can rotate at the base and move somewhat slightly, but if you do that, it leaves this part exposed, which is made out of plastic. It turns out Mattel probably wanted to go with like a plastic, but instead they wanted to give it a rubber feel, like it's made out of bendy wire, which it is. It's just impossible to like even articulate it in a right position. See? See what I mean there? I'm tired of like I'm not sure why my camera quality is not working right now. Yeah. So as you can see, I have a few gripes with the figure, but overall I think it's pretty nice. But is it too nice enough? Well, when I have an overall review, it would be good. And also, another thing I like to note here is that the dew claw can move up and down, or at least the sickle claw, which I meant. And I think it's actually pretty unique. They could have done that on some more smaller raptors, but I think it's just okay, to be honest. But this also, and as for every other Amber collection figure, it would come with the base and the stand, which, of course, compared to your brown raptor, it had like a orange base to resemble amber, but here they ruined it with a clear and with a white clear base. Like, are you kidding me right now, Mattel? And plus the logo even isn't painted. Like, at least make it look like amber, because I think it's the Amber collection, Mattel, not the Invisible collection. And as for the stand, I don't like it. I mean, sure, it has a few posabilities here. Like, I mean, you can pose the raptor in like a position where you can pose it to get like a few shots, which I actually did that because I took a picture of the Amber Collection Velociraptor and hanged it up in my room. And as for me to show you what the picture looks like, it looks something like this. Not the best that I can do, but somewhat I did great on it. And how do you attach the stand to the figure? Well, you simply just well, I don't think that was intentional, was it? Just get in there, attach it to like base, and there you go. I'm not gonna lie, I can't seem to get like my stand to at least connect with the Velociraptor. I mean, the stand and the base works fine, but I have to like complain about here. Like, I feel like the stand should have had like more joints on the thing. Like, when I was playing with this thing and getting like a few action poses for it, I tried to use the stand and make it have like a high enough jumping pose, but I can't do that. And keep in mind, in the movie, those raptors can really jump. So then why, if someone wants to create a high enough jumping action pose to recreate like a few scenes in the movie, at least give it like a high enough jumping pose where it can at least strike its enemies. But also another thing I have about the figure is when I got it, ignore that. Anyways, I was saying, when I got my Amber Collection Velociraptor, it was relatively, well, how do I put this straight? It's bigger than I expected. Like, I mean, literally, bigger than I expected. So, let's do a size comparison here. Here's one of the original Fallen Kingdom Velociraptors compared to it. Here it is next to the Pyroraptor, and here he is against one of my Achosaraptors, technically the Dino Tractor Strike Attack Achosaraptor, the Wild Roar Utahraptor, the Dino Trackers Indoraptor, and my only beta figure. Yeah, that's a lot of size comparisons here. Like, I mean, I was not prepared for these. So, what do I think of this figure overall? Let's just say it's somewhat of an okay figure. I mean, sure, there's a few things that could have been a lot more better with it, in my opinion. Like, give it the exception of painted dew claws, and at least a more posable tail. I mean, seriously, who would want something that's made out of bendy wire? Like, I mean, sure, you can use it for all sorts of things, but I would use it for more useful things. Such as when something, like, breaks off and you have to, like, put bendy wire on it to, like, fix it. Or use it whenever you're creating, like, a robot or something. But overall, this figure is a 6 out of 10 for me. it's not necessarily the best iteration of the Velociraptor from Jurassic Park 1993, but it's still somewhat of a great figure, and I would kind of recommend it. Like, I mean, if you're like a fan of this re-released color scheme, a lot more better than the original Raptor, or if you wanted to get it because it has somewhat good amount of detail on it, and if you kind of wanted to at least kick off a collection. But still, I like it overall. And you should do like what he says. Like, you should do what he's saying right now. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.